Okay, Richard here. I was letting it run because it keeps crashing, and that was getting really annoying. So I'm showing Eben-Emael again because I'm going to show you a decisive victory, and it's exploiting a fact about the position that Soren pointed out to me. If you take 2 flags, the infantry activate. If you take 4 flags, the level bombers activate. And he had asked, I'm not sure what the limit on that is, but, you might be able to exploit that. I was also curious, to what extent could I exploit that? And I'm going to show you a replay here that will make you feel sick to your stomach, because I exploited it in ways I didn't even, it was sick what I did. This is the safest way to play this scenario. It's also the best way to get experience. It's also the best way to take no damage. It's also the best way to get the most prestige possible on ultimate mode. And the trick, as it turns out, is you shouldn't capture anything. And by not capturing anything, the units do not spawn. And you're going to see that I save capturing everything for the final turn, and I make sure key units are in the major hexes. And I only had to make a couple of adjustments to the original plan that I had. And the big adjustment I made was my paratroopers are flying to the south, and they're going to take 2 victory objectives. And as it turns out, it takes exactly 10 turns for them to do this. But most of the rest of my plan is about the same, except Ola Deer. I activate Ola Deer. Actually, Ola Deer is fine. He basically does the same thing, but by turn 10, he occupies a victory objective, and then the enemy infantry activate, and they surround Ola Deer, but they don't attack. That's what's important. Ola Deer is key for a decisive victory in this scenario. So you saw I dropped my paratroopers, and the fighter doesn't care. And I used the Donier to drain ammo of infantry. I know people don't like the Donier, but I really like the plane because it really helps defeat tough units. I feel like I use this plane more than anybody else, and that a lot of Panzer Corps players underestimate how good the Donier is, because its ammo draining capacity is amazing. I think if you're not playing with these level bombers, you should. And the crazy thing about that level bomber is they get a much better version in 41. And that's it for the Air Force, as you'll see. And you'll notice I didn't take an objective. I still haven't taken a single objective. So Ola Deer comes out, and it's safe because there's no units to attack me with. And I can farm this infantry here, which is great. I'm also going to send 2 artillery pieces south instead of north. Well, 2 go north, 2 go south, because that's all I need. And then you can use level bombers in your fighters to do whatever else you need. That was Helmet Lent hitting 100 kills. So I'm still using the same tricks to pull the infantry out, but because I don't need the Donier, to take out other infantry, I can send the Donier up north to drain ammo of the infantry, and it makes it a lot easier for me. And that artillery doesn't attack my scout car for some reason. Oh, the other thing I discovered is I took 2 airfields, and that didn't activate anything. You have to take 2 city flags. If you take any of the fortification hexes, that activates everything. So I attack with the Donier. The infantry's at 1 ammo. I drain the ammo with my auxiliary scout, and then I can farm that infantry. I love it. And then I force a surrender. Then I surround the artillery. The only enemy unit in my way is this anti-tank. It's hilarious. And notice that I'm blocking major objectives because on turn 6 they start buying units. If I block the major objectives, then they have to buy them at the minor objectives. But the units don't activate, they just sit there, which is great. And then, when you're down here, hit the artillery first so it doesn't retreat, and then hit it with your artillery. And then that takes out the artillery piece. And then you can already gain... You have to block every major objective by turn 6. And you're going to see me do that here. And then I force another surrender. And I took my first city flag, but that's okay because it doesn't activate anything. And I'm blocking all of the spawn points. Or I'm blocking all the reinforcement points. And my planes can do whatever they want. My fighters. So they can go kill whatever they want. So now the AI is trying to buy, but they can't buy at major objectives, so they have to buy at the minor ones. And they buy at the minor ones closest to the major objective. So, like, as you can see with this approach, it's unbelievably safe, and you can farm. And you're gonna see me, like, seriously rack up a lot of prestige on the final turn. I reinforced I resupplied in the south, so that way on the final 3 turns I can go hard on the final objective. You need to reinforce so that way you're not out of ammo with your artillery, and that way the AI doesn't attack you on the final turn. So it's really nice that the infantry are there, but they're not activated. And then I get to farm. It's great. Now I can concentrate on the south. So apparently my Farshmaker's got 100 kills. I'm also exploiting the scout's ability to move more than once, so I can gobble up a bunch of objectives on the final turn. Now, I don't know how many scenarios where we could pull something like this, because I think by 41 they have the units on the map. I think. Look at that prestige rack up. My goodness. And then I force a surrender on this guy. And the 2 artilleries protect themselves, so the AI doesn't want to go down there. So, uh, so there was like 10 units that spawned plus the level bombers, and this guy could reach me, but he didn't want to. He saw the artillery and wanted nothing to do with it. There you have it. So there's a decisive victory. Let me know what you think in the comments. Richard out.